A woman was tidying up her clothes. Just at that moment, Nick caught sight of her. He was totally smitten by the figure of his friend's wife. When Lisa was out, Nick poured out his thoughts to his friend. Nick knew that his friend's family was hard up. He said he'd give his friend $100,000, but he needed his friend's wife to go on a date with him for a day. Hearing this, the friend thought Nick was pulling his leg. However, Nick insisted he was dead serious. He just wanted to have a cup of coffee with his friend's wife, nothing more. After that, he stuffed $1,000 into his friend's hand as a sign of his sincerity. He promised to give his friend the remaining $99,000 after the date, but the friend thought it was totally nuts and kicked Nick out. A few days later, the friend had blown through that $1,000. Then he remembered the deal Nick had offered. Lured by the $100,000, he told his wife about Nick's proposal. The wife couldn't believe her husband would sell her out for money, but it was $100,000. That amount of money was enough for him to work on a construction site for a decade. For the sake of her husband and the family, the wife finally caved in to her husband's request. But she made it clear that this was the first and also the last time. On the day of the date, the man felt extremely uneasy. He had a sinking feeling that something might go down between Nick and his wife. He was in agony. After much deliberation, he went to Nick's place to look for his wife, but no one paid him any attention. Suddenly, Nick showed up from behind him. The man immediately asked where his wife was. Nick said he and Lisa had just had a cup of coffee and then he sent her back home. The man asked if anything else had happened. Nick firmly replied that it was just a coffee, that's all. After that, he handed the remaining $100,000 to the man. Seeing the money, the man broke into a happy smile. But when he got home, his wife said she hadn't had coffee with Nick. Instead, they drove to a deserted alley and something inappropriate had happened. Hearing this, the man flew into a rage. He grilled his wife about why she had done him wrong, but the wife retorted that it was her husband who had ruined her. He shouldn't have taken that $1,000 from Nick, but now, it was all water under the bridge.